quantity, authentic and no replica. I still go by myself, for myself, in myself, because only me is definitely for me, in me by me. Narz, aka the king of airwaves, of course, is the biggest bang of the season. Disclosure with stride. But before that, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment on this YouTube page, Stride Africa TV. And what we will be discussing on this particular episode, which actually premiering this particular program, Disclosure with Stride, we are going to be talking about radio presenters' commitment and their loyalty to their respective organization or media houses. But before that, I've got some people actually worth the seats on this particular episode of this podcast. My gang in the building. No, why you they talk gang? Gee, I don't look myself. My dad is in the building. BSD, ASFD. Your own BS pass my BS, you own pass my hair. So that respect, guys. Yeah. So my gang will actually do me the favor of introducing themselves before we embark on this wonderful episode. I think you should go first.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I start. So let me start from here. My name is Afouda Samuel, but I love to call myself the god on the airwaves. Call me Afouda Bagbalagba. I don't pass like this, but I love to call myself Bagbalagba for obvious reasons. The reason might not be that obvious, but
reasons were plenty.
But maybe no cap. Maybe no go there. So Afouda Samuel is the name, and of course I'm glad to do this on Stride Africa TV. So let's do it.
Well, after I don't hear senior.
No. The only one person be senior for this country. And senior man when Lagos. I'm always kidding. They call senior man. I don't be senior man.
All right. I get no brain, but I don't like to talk. Don't be saying don't fight. If I hear, boy,
I go trip.
Me, I would like you. After that, you don't go like here the government.
I feel like no.
Well, my name is Demoosha. I'm the government in Ademola did. Ademola, I like connect.
I don't say Demola was with there because Demoosha na extract from Demola.
Yeah, before my radio presenter. But it would go all sorts now.
No, you're on break. He's a radio presenter on recess. He's coming back shortly.
Oh, we'll go still enter inside our place. But before we actually go deep, before we dive in, you heard me made mention of something. Like I said, radio presenters, their commitment to their respectful organization or media houses. That word, I don't know if it rings a bell in your head. When I say commitment to a radio, to your organization, let's take the instance of OAP's transfer. This is not football, but we've seen that the transfer window in radio industry, most especially your state, Ibadan, for example, it go like tiki taka or taka tiki. Today, one week you go, yes, say this presenter talk for this station. Next week you don't do another station. Is it that the OAP is not getting what he actually deserved from the radio station, or the radio station can't keep up with what they said they will give the OAP? I be say they think too much. I be say don't turn transfer. Say if you go anytime you like, if you come back anytime you like, because we've had instances and cases of a particular OAP leaving a radio broadcast industry and still going back there again after a long while. We have various examples, but we'll not go enter harm now.
Okay.
Make I just hear from you.
For me, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's our season. You know, say for this life, everything gets season. And it's a season for agbalumo, there's a season for mango. There is OAP season now. Just a few weeks back, it was the season of POS operators. I've well attended that. But when you're talking about the industry, the media industry, I think we are in OAP season now because for whatever reason, the industry is booming. Right now, you can count up to 42 licenses, and we licensed with frequency radio stations in Ibadan. No, not even the whole Oyo State.
That really baffles me a lot.
It shouldn't baffle you
how does this radio organization even make money when they are competition already?
See, that one another topic. How they make money another topic. But the core of the matter is this: when in economics, basic economics, where they teach us that year, when there is enough, when there is multiple demands, of course the value or the price will go up. So the same thing happens when we have 42 radio stations. So for example, now if we have 10 OAPs on a radio station, that means we have 420 OAPs. That is what it means.
Just according to your own calculation.
By my own calculation, because there are so many radio stations that has way more than 10.
Which is even minimum.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Level.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe let's say 10. Let's just say 10 for as an average number.
Okay.
So now 10 times 42, that's 420 OAP. That's big. That's massive. And of course, if you are in top, let me say, out of the 420, if you are in top 20 or top 50, then definitely they will just sue for your signature. They will just sue to have you on their team. So that makes you much more valuable. And of course, when it comes to that, when the chips are down, you bring your offer. I will sit down and of course assess all the offers. I say, okay, this one is good for me. This one is offering more pay, but it's not giving me enough time. This one is giving me not too much pay, but I will have more time for my other project. Okay, this one, they are giving more money. They want to take my whole time. You have the luxury of choice. Pick your choice and move ahead with whatever you have. I think that is what is happening right now. So for OAPs, if you sign me today,
okay,
look, let's look at C Ronaldo now. He left.
For instance.
Yes, that he left. Which club? No, would you come out?
Come up.
No, from Man U rather.
Okay.
He come out from Man U. He go Saudi Arabia simply because they give her better money for there. They give her better money, not just money. They give her levels. They give her so many.
For United.
You see, there's one Yoruba adage pé ẹni tó bá máa ṣoríire ní Ìbàdàn orí ibùdó náà ṣe kó lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. I don't know how applicable, but sincerely, it does not really matter. They may not value you, but there may be someone there dying to have your signature.
Mm-hmm.
You have the luxury of choice now.
But actually, according to what you said, I feel it's kind of biased when they want you on their radio station.
Okay.
The company owners or the CEOs, they want you on their radio stations. Demoosha, I don't know if you are actually following what Baba Agbalagba is saying. So Baba Agbalagba talks, so if they carry offer come you tonight, if you look check say, this offer they preferable, you go grab them. But does it actually prove your level of commitment, like your level of loyalty commitment to that organization? And let's come to think of it. How many months, how many years do you think an OAP should use in an organization to prove his level of commitment and loyalty to that organization?
Well,
Is there a time?
we can start from the back.
From the behind. Okay.
Well, there's no rule that stipulates that you should spend in
A certain amount of period. Okay.
a radio station
Okay.
to prove that you're loyal
Or you are committed.
to the brand or what they do.
Okay.
There's no rule or
So there's no regulation that says.
there's no regulation on that.
Okay.
I mean, just before we came here, somebody was telling me about somebody who joined the radio station and barely 2 months after.
We know Siam for the best station game.
About there are several reasons why that could happen. But let's say no like the place. If you be say the person don't fit do the job, if you be say one thing just happening,
Go just happen.
we just make the person go. But on the question of commitment, it's a two-edged sword, and it depends on who wear the show.
Now you go to where. Now you go know where.
Yeah, you know where the picture.
Hmm.
For me now,
Okay.
I
As
don't,
a case
I don't
study.
get maybe not a luxury, the opportunity or the privilege of working for a couple of radio stations. I know the differences. I know how I take be for one. I know how I take be for the other. Not because my personality change, change. But
One level where it takes.
one behavior for one place, as a result of, or maybe not a direct consequence.
Okay, that behavior
As a
made it.
result of,
It be like relationship. Woman wey don't break your heart before. If you enter another relationship, she go
Observe.
and that's it.
But one of the thing, according to my own point of view, do I just dey sit down, dey observe now from behind like his talk. See, some radio owners actually are not even in the media or broadcast line. Let's start with that and let's be honest and be real. Many just do it. Okay, Ibadan, for instance, now you say we have over 42 radio stations now. I think it's now becoming to start like a trend. Like, okay, that radio business, be like say money did here. See this station, they don't do it. Make me safe. Make I go invest my money inside radio. And you, without having a knowledgeable insight of how a radio organization works, you set it up. Definitely, you don't know and how or when, or even or how they run it, starting from you picking the head of station to the studio management, and even you site picking OAPs. I think it should start from there. Or does it really count, or it does not count?
Well, for me, all of those things do not count, and I'm not. This is not me trying to wave away the importance of having an idea of the
radio station,
broadcast industry before you
venture into it.
Just invest in it.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing that in any way. But that's by the side.
Okay.
But on the question of loyalty, I mean, if I own a radio station, for instance, I want to start a radio station, and I'm looking to recruit, my loyalty level, for instance, now, or the person I want to recruit, loyalty level, they no go right on for your forehead. You know, good no. And I think more often than not, the on a general scale, the level of loyalty or the scale of loyalty you will see from your employees depend on several factors.
Okay.
Like how the employer steady treats the employees, the working conditions,
and the working environment in general.
Pay, which I think is probably the because from my experience, people feel enjoy very terrible working conditions in the pay. They alright. It's right for Nigeria.
Yes, so
some no go feel enjoy. They'll rather just let go the money and say they want sane working environment. That one day. But most people, from my own experience, I no talk of the next person.
Okay.
They go rather enjoy bad working conditions for the mullah,
for the good pay.
Sure you get. So
mullah way pass baba balaga.
Justifies 90 when able to whether OAP is still out to their radio station
or not.
So now wait till I see several.
But some OAPs go come tell you, say, see me, I don't spend 5 years for this radio organization. Does that mean they are loyal to that organization? Does that mean they are committed? Because some ones are just that spend 2 months in an organization and next thing is off that industry.
You see,
they don't talk. You will spend 2 months for a year. I've been here for 5 years. What are you saying?
See, it's just like I think that is more like maturity. It has nothing to do with your age. So your level of loyalty has nothing to do with how far you've been with the organization. However,
so it's not by how far.
It's not by how far. No, exactly. However, it is an indicator. It could be an indicator. Okay. Because when you have something, there are so many indices that you will use to decide or determine if someone is loyal. So the length of time is actually one of it. You could be in an organization for 10 years and be the one that is sabotaging their efforts. You are not loyal. And someone that may be coming in just within a year and the person is committed heart, body and soul to the development and the growth of the organization.
Sorry.
Yes. So, but let me quickly go back to, I'm interested in that question about people investing. See, there are investors and there are people who are professionals. And of course, there are so many radio stations now. I can mention names. For example, one of the biggest radio stations in Oyo State, #1 station in according to MPS rating, Splash FM. Baba Kode was never a media practitioner according to what's it called now? His biography that we see. Baba a businessman. Recently we had one of the founders of Paystack just bought a football club in what's it called now? Share that boy don't play ball before. So there are investors in every industry. You get the money. You don't know that there's an opportunity here, but then what will now determine your level of success is how well you understand it. You may not have played in the industry, but you can understand from your own assessment such that you can recruit the necessary hands. You can recruit the necessary hands to man different things for you. So, for example, I don't have an idea of transportation business, but I've been hearing that MC has billions in his accounts. Like, me too, I feel collect money from MC and now. Oh yeah, me too, I want to do transport business.
How they do?
Wisdom, exactly. What will not be said like MC and go. Say na Kunle Poli go now. Invite me and introduce me to somebody who go show me the way now. They say about we go first buy four buses. We go do it this way. So I go hire person with sabi about the whole thing. We go put me through. Now they call consultants with that. So if you're not a media person and you want to set up a media organization, you need someone who knows the game, who you can call in as a consultant, who will consult for you. But it is very funny because from experience and from observation, I know some radio stations that is after they have obtained their license, before they even start thinking of license to what? Which niche can we face? Where we want face? Those people, they are structured to fail because those are the things you should have because your own dream as an investor, Dangote has been saying it for years now that he still has plans to buy Demoosha's club. Arsenal. He has been saying it that he has plans. That means out of all the clubs in the world, probably he's an Arsenal fan, or he must have seen something in Arsenal's history, whatever, that just endears him to the club. So, for example, for someone like me now, I may be saying, I love combat sports. I love UFC. I love boxing. Anything where I go see blood. Anything where I go see blood. Me, I did like her. So, for me now, I'm like, this combat sport, I think I want to invest in it. Of course, there's Joe Rogan podcast. That guy makes millions of dollars just with his podcast on combat sports. So I may feel like if I open a radio station in this direction, so now I know where I'm going. I have something in mind. So even when I want to recruit a consultant, I know the kind of consultant that I'm looking for. I won't go and recruit a consultant that is for Woman Angle Story. When I want to do a sports station. Okay. Exactly.
So are you trying to say now OAP should actually watch out for the kind of radio stations they want to embark on?
That is basic wisdom for anybody before they employ you. Ask who get the station, wetin be our essence, wetin be our niche. What are we actually doing? They are just pushing us there to go and make money. So that when we don't get there, that's the guy, where are we going? Say anywhere money day. That time you or I go walk tire because you don't even get direction.
I think the main purpose of creating a radio station is just to pass information and entertain.
Alaye, if I be investor now to make money,
200 million, 300 million radio station.
Oh, we get to work for information.
Information when you get to Portita.
So did they make that huge amount of money for radio?
No, not which are the talk.
Okay.
To get radio license, they go on paper and they will tell you a small thing, but we know the play.
Before you get the signature of the president himself,
to sign,
president is signed.
President has to sign.
President is signed.
President has to sign.
So you mean all the radio stations within Nigeria and no president?
That's why they do it in batches.
So
wow,
interesting. The time, the money you will spend, the equipment you will
setting up.
If you choose to bring consultant to recruit, go pay. But if you know, say you get him with your ground, to recruit. But you go still recruit all those are one of those things. They're not be community service. It not be like community radio like you.
Exactly. No,
even you like community radio yourself. They spend money for
now only government get that to say we want inform people. Government. So government they don't want to make money.
Radio stations.
Then they make money.
The government owns the radio station.
Yes, of course. Yeah, they make money. Why if they're not they make money? Or no be sure say no be everything they could remit anyway. Why did they open everywhere? I mean a federal character they make their open stations every all the taxes.
So if federal government if want make money upon all the money where they get, imagine an individual like we don't collect 200 million, 300 million to set up a contract. Me say your duty not to.
So let's take for instance now this popular ace broadcaster in Lagos. I know you all know it. We all know him. Nedu. He has been so committed to this particular radio station. Okay, his former radio station, Wazobia.
How do you know he's committed?
I mean, he
probably because of his Instagram and because of his Instagram and Nedu Wazobia.
Okay.
I think that's the brand. I think that's the branded stuff for the Wazobia family.
Yeah, all of them. Everyone that.
I remember Nedu Wazobia. So any of them Wazobia.
Okay, so now let's use it as a case study now. So you opt out of?
No, you were talking about
honestly. Okay, yeah. I cited an example.
Okay.
So now you were like, okay, that's not really commitment. I felt it was commitment.
No, I didn't say. I don't know if you said.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, but I'm not saying that's not.
Okay, but I feel it is commitment. But now he's out of that radio station. Could it be that his pay, or they didn't meet up with his pay, or something?
Well, I don't think so.
Or his personal decision.
No, he spent quite a number of years with.
Wazobia. I think he spent up to 8 years, or if no more than 8 years.
Because
so all his brands and the audience base, fan base grew up from Wazobia FM. So now he just diverted the attention.
And I'm not sure, but I'd like to think that that's the first radio station I worked with.
Yes, after Wazobia FM.
No, I mean Wazobia.
Okay, yeah.
He started as a newscaster and then
before he owned his own program and all
of those things.
So Demoosha, you made mention of something like you
no, before we go to Demoosha, let's talk what they do. Okay. I don't know what the reasons are or what the reasons were, But of course, we've seen people, prominent radio figures, move from one station to another for various reasons.
Okay.
And then it could be that I don't maybe money could be a factor.
Cool.
But I don't have details about what he earned at Wazobia FM, or what is going to end with Nigeria FM in Lagos. I don't know. I don't have the details. But apart from money, there are several factors as well. Like, okay, maybe I've done already with this. I've done quite enough already, and I need to move on to other places, or maybe it could be some factors that may not be public. That may not be for public consumption.
Exactly. See,
when I saw it as well, I was surprised, but
I was shocked.
Again,
not surprised. I think I was shocked. See, one thing I believe about movement is there are several reasons that could make you move. Sometimes when your work environment becomes toxic, money becomes secondary. For example, I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened in this case of Nedu, but it could be probably power tussle, probably, or a better offer. A better offer could be anything. It's not necessarily the money, but okay. For example, there's a particular lady here in Ibadan that made a very shocking move recently. She left Beat FM for Jams FM, where she was coming from. I'm talking of MIA. MIA and my person. But then when I heard that MIA left Beat, I thought that she has moved to Lagos, because that is I've been waiting for that move to Lagos. I've been expecting that move to Lagos.
And I don't know. She's also told us like she left Jams to Beat.
Yeah, she left Jams to Beat. Okay. And of course, she grew on at Beat FM, and she became. If you're following her, she's one of. Let me give a massive shout out to her. Let me give her flowers, as they say. Emma is one hardworking, talented person when it comes to her craft. As a woman. Yes. So when I go on her page and I see her in Lagos today, see her in Abuja, see her in Port Harcourt, how is this girl managing this with our radio job? So I was expecting, because the custom thing in this part of Nigeria in Ibadan is that once she starts blowing, you transplant yourself to Lagos.
I think another instance of transparency to Lagos is Kolade dominates.
That is even radio, even in entertainment generally. Okay. Laugh up, remote. Once they blow small in Lagos, the only person that has refused to move is Wole Agba, and I give him kudos for that. And of course, his brand is much more rooted in Ibadan. So the point I'm making is, MI left Beat for Jams. And it's at a time where Jams seems challenged. Let me just use the word like that, seems challenged, because some of their OAPs are leaving, their top OAPs were leaving. But she made a switch back to Jams. And then I didn't have this discussion with her, but something is telling me they must have sat her down and give her an offer she cannot refuse. That may not be money. But for someone like her, probably she needs more time. Probably she needs more flexibility for her to be able to travel, to do her own personal thing. And that could be what... See, I was telling Demoosha something before we came on, said that the easiest way to enslave an ambitious person is to know what is their dream, their ambition, and build your offer around it. You know that this guy is building a brand. Just build your offer around it. You see, we allow you pursue your brand, we support your brand, we'll do this. Then we get you. If they know, okay, this guy now, for you now, I don't say this guy won't blow. I can't tell her, yeah, that's come up for stride though. Okay. We for our station, we get partnership with YBNL. So now, so this place they do media, and of course you'll be seeing your song will be coming up, and Olamide we know your Olamide. You go come up for stride. Forget how much they are giving you a stride.
Don't make my level of commitment.
And I get
when I don't bow, say I no go come on stride. You know what's that?
Now today they break bow.
MI's story is an interesting one. I know her personally. She worked for a media outfit I used to work for.
A former family.
Then
former family.
Yeah. And then I have some personal relationship with her. So and when I heard that she was leaving, I was like, what's happening? But of course I understood to an extent what could have happened. Now she must have been looking for something. And personally, she didn't tell me. We didn't see in person. In fact, she said she left here. We haven't seen in person. But I did put a call through to her. She didn't take it. Okay. But she did call me back, and she told me some things. But I would not like to close. Yeah, try. But I think I understand the reasons she left.
It's personal, right?
And I can relate. and I can totally.
But does it tangle with what Baba Gbalagba said?
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give any maybe wins.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't want to say I'm not usually like this. I could be anything. I could be on any side of the divide, depending on how I'm feeling or how I think things should be. If you think moving from point A to B will benefit you, take it. If you think moving from point B to C
You want to buy
yes, benefit you, take it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to sound controversial, but this is the truth. Business owners will always be capitalists.
Definitely.
Whether it is the radio business
Or
whether
any business.
business whatsoever, especially in Nigeria. Business
about the money.
capitalists, because they will always think about their profit, the
Definitely.
profit margins, the numbers, more often than not before they think about.
But do you think it's
The people who are pushing the numbers.
okay?
I wanted to back up what Demoosha is saying. See, this thing, I love to use the perfect illustration of football, of a football team, and the sense that, for example, you may be a member, how do I call it now, a team, you may be in Chelsea team, but then definitely know that in that Chelsea team, you don't have the regular share. Sometimes you pick offer from a smaller club that may give you more playing time, not necessarily more money. In fact, you may take a pay cut to go to. I think there are different examples. I remember the story about. I remember the story of Emmanuel Adebayo. I think the guy left which club now to go to Arsenal, and then from there moved to Madrid. Because when he was coming to Arsenal, it was more like a pay cut or something for him because of the level at which he was playing. But he realized that Arsenal is the top.
He was
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not sure.
Arsenal is the top France. You know that Arsenal is the top club playing in the Champions League. At that time, playing in the Champions League, and of course, the money they won't pay him the big money that any other team would offer him. But he preferred to go there so that we have the regular playing time where the big boys will see him, and he played there for a while, and he moved straight from there to Madrid. So, for example, they say sometimes the way up is down. When you are on a particular level and you want to go up, you have to go down a bit. From there, you now exactly. So it happens. It's not just about the money. Sometimes I know someone who resigned from a station where I worked because she was not doing enough. Not that her pay was not regular, but she went for a lesser brand. A lesser brand, let me put it that way. A lesser radio brand. Of course, we have a table. Pure text to MPS. No, make I not mention it yet. Make I not mention it yet. You know, I had the system. But of course, on the table, on the MPS table, they are lower ranked to my station as at that time. But she prepared to. No. MPS at that. So she left our station for another station, not because her pay was not regular, not because she was not well paid, at least in how do I call it now, in quotes now. But because she was not playing, she was not having too much play time. No, there's a level you get to, level that the most adorish now. Say, even if you like,
that level where you reach, you go tell me.
The level I want to tell you now, there's a level where you get into the industry and you want to have 5 hours per day because you just want to talk. There is a level you get to say, guy, if not 30 minutes per week, you go give me. Shall I make it not affect my money? Make I know. See, I don't want to. I know I need to talk again. That kind of talk. No. Make I just. Shall they give me my money? Make I do what I want to.
Hunger stage.
Exactly.
Stage.
So there is a level for anyone in the industry that say, this place I won't shine. Because they are not using me. I want to do entertainment. I want to do sport. I want to do politics. But they are just using me for countdown. And that countdown, the people are not going to see me. It won't sell my market. And the person is off. So the person wants to work. So when they are not using me here. Now look for another station where they will give you read news in the morning, come back in the afternoon for sport. Then in the evening you come back and do drive time. And then they will give you money. By the time you get home, you are spent. You want that kind of a thing. There is a level to that. Like I said, there is a level you get to say, well, give me 30 minutes per week. Don't touch my money. Make I just do this one because at that moment, probably you have found other things you are doing with your time. Probably you realize that this thing is just a vexation of the spirit. Whether you do it from morning to night, that or not may say they know you pass. There are some people that their program is just once in a week and they are quite popular, famous, and everything, but it's a level you get to. The same thing with football. There's a level you get to where you want to play all time, at all times. You want to be on the although not for people like Ronaldo, because even though he's at the top there, he still wants to play. There are some special breed like that. There are some people like our guy for Chelsea that year. Baba Yaro, the bros they bench for like 30 years. I don't know how many years they bench for. But they use that, they collect money and then you're not they collect money. So there are levels to these things, but trust me, everybody's just looking out for himself or herself. So I won't blame anybody that is making any switch for whatever reason. I have a mentor that I always call anytime I get offers. Say, see, I don't want you to be emotionally attached to any brand, because the reason why
so radio personality should not be committed.
No, not committed. Not being committed. The moment you are there, give them your best. Okay. But don't be emotionally attached such that we see a better offer and you now say, I'm committed to this brand. My brother, if you don't do well tomorrow that brand go drop you.
Even if it's your father's job. As long as you should have personal goals.
Actually.
Personal aspirations. If it doesn't align with your goals or aspirations, whether it is your father's or your mother's business.
Let me squeeze in a personal information. In live information, I know of a particular radio station here in Ibadan that they are just doing balabala. They are doing balabala. At some point, the GM just vex. The chairman just go bring in child in son as a GM. Everyone was like, thank God, this station go stable now. Junior the junior be the GM. My brother. Like 3 months later, I said, how far? I said, Junior to don't resign. He resigned when my father work. See, that is what, just to portray what I know this. You know this station.
For me,
what I'm saying is that even if it's your father's job, if it does not align with your own personal growth or your personal whatever aspiration, you have to go. At the end of the day, it's your life. It's not your father's life. He has lived his own life. You have to go and live your own life.
So Demoosha, before we move into the next aspect, you said I don't know whether Baba Agbalagba followed up, but I'll remind you again. We made mention of something that MIA, you have a personal relationship with MIA. Could it be you know guys now, you know men now?
No.
And
I don't know what your
is there a kind of entanglement that is not supposed to be known to the camera? Like,
no. Are you talking about a relationship?
Yeah, or relationship.
It's just no. I don't want a sexual relationship. There's no love relationship.
It's just party.
Even saying love, safe. It's not like you don't love her. That's what I'm trying to say. That
agape love.
What kind of? He's my guy.
Yeah, see, one thing I can say about MIA, like I said, MIA is like I can say she's a friend. I met her before she joined the industry. And
that should be way back.
Not very way back. Not very way back. So that moment, you can see the hunger in her. So everything she's doing now, sincerely, I'm not shocked, because she knows what she wants, and she was ready to give everything. No, there's a difference between what you demand and what you desire. She was not ready to desire. She was not desiring the fame. She was ready to pay the price, because this babe was just, when you meet somebody for the first time and he's bombarding you with questions. How does this work? And I asked, are you on a radio station? Said no, she's not on any station at the moment, but she's hoping to be on a station very soon. And then when I heard that she was eventually with BTFM, I was so with Jams rather. I was happy for her, because that time she was how do I call it, willing to pay the price, to pay her dues, and she did eventually. And of course, when she now moved from Jams to Beats, her growth was nothing short of it was not a surprise at all, because like I said, she's really so she's almost if you know her and you have you have eyes for talent, for dedication, and for what's it called now, she will be your guy, because you just have to admire her tenacity. And
that's cool. You are pursuing.
Exactly. I love ambitious people.
Okay, so let's take another instance of moving from a particular radio station you are not working with again. I'm going back there again. We have the instance of this video that went viral online. I think a couple of months back. Yes, a couple of months back. A radio owner going into the live studio to actually bar off the microphone of a popular AIDS broadcaster. I would actually mention the name. Olomi.
I just go about Olomi. I just want to get
Ali and Satan.
There's no need to hype.
So no, it's gone viral. Everybody's talking about it and everybody knows about it. So what kind of altercation do you think that would actually cause? Because he moved from the radio station you announced you are no longer working with again, and you went back there.
It's just like football. Like
So is radio now?
radio.
It's very, very similar.
Radio is like every other sphere of life. I can leave a particular company now. I'm not actually work for the company. So I'll go to another place. I come back and say I'm back here now. But you see the thing about loyalty with other personalities is that besides being in love with the job, the craft, you also have your own personal yearnings, your personal goals, the things you want to achieve. If for instance, if I'm working with a radio station and I've set goals, maybe financial goals, maybe career goals, and I think that these goals that I've set for myself, I'm not really achieving them, or there's no clear routes or clear path to achieving these goals, and I think that the best thing for me to do, the best or the next line of action for me is to move away. And if I'm really ambitious about my goals, I'll move. Or I think I should move
Already.
to put it like that. But again, on the other hand, if I think that, or if my goals or my goal is just to get paid, and they are paying my salary as I went to, whether I'm growing in terms of my career,
Or popularity.
whether I'm growing in terms of popularity or I'm not, but I'm getting my pay as I went due. I just want to pay my bills.
Okay.
I would say, depends on what you want. But then again, generally speaking, I want to pose a rhetorical question. Maybe not so rhetorical.
Maybe people have an answer.
In the context of the broadcast industry in Ibadan, for instance, I'm taking Ibadan because we're in Ibadan.
We're in Ibadan at the moment.
How many radio stations can actually cater to their employees? How many? Really?
I cover my eyes. Okay.
I'm able to see, and this is not me boasting. I don't think any radio station in Ibadan can pay my bills. It cannot pay.
Demoosha, before I enter, you go break them down.
Hold on, sorry.
Okay.
Hold on. And for me, if I take a job with any radio station now, without missing words, I don't think I would stick around to, how do I put it now? I don't want to sound condescending. I would stick around to take some of the what's the word now?
Peanuts.
No, not peanuts. The word that comes to mind is irregularities, but it doesn't exactly capture what I want to say.
Okay.
Some of the shortcomings,
Okay.
especially in terms of pay, let me put it like that. I don't want to take it. But there's one or two, for obvious reasons, and I think it's apparent, people know, that I will say, okay, let me just do it for my own biases. Or maybe affiliation bias. And by that, I think I've been clear enough.
Yeah.
Affiliation bias. I'll say, okay, let me just manage them and say, okay, let's do that. Even at that, I'll be loyal to them. But I cannot say the same for any other station. This will not my career, my new career. But it doesn't mean that if any other radio station comes calling and say, Demoosha, we want you this, and if I really buy into their, or whatever they are offering me, their own vision, and I think that, okay, this is something I can work with. Believe me, in 1 week, I'm already that thing. Like, I'll be like, okay, this is where I'm at now at this present stage in my life. I see, once I commit to you, I'm dedicated. But then again, do these employers, these radio owners, do they really care about the employees? Especially the OAPs? Because there's another thing I want to delve into now. There's this practice that the radio owners or entrepreneurs who own radio stations will tell you that, or people who work for them, or their appointees who also pretend over radio stations, they will tell you that you are not an OAP alone. You have to go and market. You have to go and I can market if I want to, but that's not my job. You have a full-fledged marketing department. What are they doing?
That is if they
What
have.
are they doing?
That is if they have.
Yeah, thank you
Now,
very much.
I think that is if they have. Some stations don't have. Unfortunately, as stupid as that's crap. That is why I said that. See, before you collect, before you pick up any appointment, there are so many questions you need to ask. There are so many investigations you need to do. For example, if you're working with a very small organization, let me say, when I say small, I mean 4 or 5. I'm not talking of a radio station now.
Well, just anything you have.
No. I'm not talking of a radio station. I'm not talking of a radio station now. I'm just saying a station that has, let me say, a media organization that has 4 or 5 staff, members of staff. The question they will ask you is, where can you function? You can what's the code now? Because it's multitask.
So utility player, you go suffer.
You go suffer.
You go suffer.
That's not why. See, sometimes our level of desperation differs. So people are so desperate. Some people will tell you that I can do. Some people will tell you I can drive, I can report, I can read news, I can hold gen, I can fuel gen.
Hunger, like
some are just doing it for the money. Some just want to get the money. Some just want to get in by any means. However, if an organization like a radio station is calling you, there are so many questions you should ask. See, for some entrepreneurs that are smart, they know that people are best productive when you put them in the area of strength. You are a presenter. All I need you to do. Some stations will not even allow. Some organizations don't allow. For example, big organization like BBC. You have a producer
already.
You are a presenter. When I used to do stuff with Radio Nigeria, there is a presenter, there is a producer. The producer would have done the scripting and everything, and then the presenter will just come give him the script, and then he will present the script and read. That is all he does. And when it's signed out, of course, how can you collect a script from a producer that you have no much input in that, and forget to acknowledge your producer? It is not possible. But I will forget my producer when my producer did not give me anything. I'm just entering the station and my producer says,
even for him, if the ones who won't pretend to get producers, they will tell you give producers. No.
That's what I'm saying. So how do I go on to acknowledge someone that has made?
Take the question, right? Or that question will be saying you're error full. When I'm in the context of the question, I've been in English really right.
So just imagine that a station that does not have such, even for programming,
lacking.
They may not have for, how do I call it now? Some of them just have one person per department, one marketer,
and some people don't.
And then every other person is deemed to be a marketer. I've worked at a station before where they give targets to, and but sometimes we blur the lines, and that's why exactly we just want. I saw a post online some few weeks back. Some or aspiring broadcasters, they were clamoring. They said radio stations, they are just using no names. They are not giving them chance. They are recycling no names. They are not giving them chance. Nobody hands a chance to you. That's one problem with according to IGM. That's one problem with Gen Z. That's one problem with Gen Z. They want everything handed to them. Nobody hands you. In 2006, I met a very popular broadcaster. I said, I want to be on radio. Then I was still aspiring. I want to be on radio like you. He said, hold on. Mr. He now called one man. He said, that was 2006. He said, since when have you been here? Man said, since 2003. He said, have you ever talked on radio? The man said, no. He said, you can go. The man said, see that man, he's a family man, he's married. He has been coming to this office, following me to the studio for the past 3 days, and he has never spoken a word on radio. So I don't know the talent you think you have. That you are still in school will tell me that you want to go on air.
And get paid.
He said, see, if your parents have money, you can buy airtime and go and blow your parents' money. That's exactly what you used to. You can go on air and blow your parents' money. But after a quarter, we will see if you can renew or you cannot renew. So then it used to be very, 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 very tough for you to go on here. And of course, you go to Radio Nigeria, all those places, my brother, you can be there for 3 years and not say hello, on microphone. Unlike when you go to one of some of our private radio stations now that say, guy, Alpha, you feel the, oh yeah, come on, they put on the microphone for you. Some places you cannot even enter their studio. So when these stations see that they now draw you close, they draw you in, you're a young guy, you have talent, you have prospects. Well, yeah, let's bring you up. And then you now say hello. After you saying hello today, hello tomorrow, you now say Alpha, you know, go pay me. Say talele, kilele, ibolotimbo. That is the general. Although, like I said, there is a way some stations feel like, let's give them stipends. Let's encourage them. Let's encourage them. But they don't owe you at anything at that point, because they feel
cases. But how do we now want to do it, or how do we explain it, or put it in a way that will be explainable, that these radio organizations can make presenters that are committed to them not to feel guilty? You know, the radio station will come and tell you, okay, this is the amount we want to give you per month. After working 2 months, the following months we'll pay your salary together with the one we want to pay next month. Next month comes,
you don't enter one chance
owing them, and this OAPs, because of their level of commitment, still feels like, okay, this radio station might still pay me my money back, but 6 months, 7 months gone already without no salary. How do you want to explain that?
You want him to answer?
No, I'm just throwing an open question. How do you want to explain that?
Well, it differs. I've been lucky enough to work for 2 different radio stations that really do not owe. One in Ibadan, one in Lagos, and whatever we agreed was what was paid. But then maybe later I'll look back and say, maybe I should have dug in my heels and say, oh, I don't want to take this, I don't want to, but all that one are staying. You don't enter. They don't pay you waiting.
And I agree
to pay. Sure, you get. But in the case of stations, they say they don't agree. Say we will pay you XYZ. They're going to pay XY.
They don't put Z. Later on, they will even come with the Y, not just X. Later, XF no go even show face again.
You know, good. No, it's not something that is good. And I think a lot of radio station owners or radio owners or whatever it is, the employers in the media spaces, no, the radio part of the broadcast industry take advantage of one of those things. There are no jobs. He or she will probably take what I give her or whatever it is, and they will tell you, see, this is what I have. If you don't want it, go. Or we cannot pay this month, next month, a certain month, until a certain month. If you cannot take it, you take a walk. I mean, I've heard a story of someone who, along with his colleagues, haven't been paid for months, and then immediately left. Some months, some backlog were paid, and then somebody asked, "Now, how about people that left? They can go to
it's gone. So what the law?
What the law? They can go to court if you want. But how much I get, I will go. How much be the money I will collect? What be the legal fees? How much I will take file case for court? How much I will pay lawyer?
How many years this must?
How much I won't pay? How much I won't collect? You go be my profit. So all of those things now, if you really think about those things, you back down and say it is
not worth it.
There's no point pursuing this thing. But if you don't, I don't think I will get anybody. If you don't do one radio station, in fact, it's not even Ibadan anyway. I just limited to Ibadan. Some of the biggest brands in radio, you know what I'm saying? They get chains of radio stations, different brands. You know, for Lagos, you mighty Lagos, they owe people salary plenty. You ever get sitcom for being TV shows? I know they pay. Should buy.
And they say that are states that
they're going you nothing.
This broadcast house is, radio house is just like a barrack. Soldier go, soldier come.
And part of the problem with that.
You see, like Demoosha said the other
So they
time.
don't even care about the interest of their employees.
See, forget the interest. Interest of the employee is secondary.
To them, just take out of my head.
If a station can say all of you go today, and they believe that we will replace you.
Just like you said, like a radio broadcast organization that has 20 employees has over 102 people that want to take that position that 20 employees are. So I think that is what their sentiments are based on.
Sometimes there are some stations that when they owe backlog, I know of a particular station in Ibadan like that. When they
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know.
When they owe backlog like that, they just look at everybody. Say everybody, we are laying everybody off. That's the first thing. The first day, we are laying everybody off. Everybody go home. For like 2 days, they may be playing song. Then after 3rd day, they will contact them that if you are interested, reapply. What that means that once you reapply, all the backlog that were owed, that one erased. Written off. Because you have been laid off, you just came back as a new employee. You can imagine that kind of. But unfortunately, this is not peculiar to media, because we've heard of people in different industries that say, wọ́n jẹ́ salary oṣù mẹ́fà. They're kúrò ń bẹ̀, ṣé wọ́n fi one body sí, must you leave, must you stay that bed?
You know the gimmick or the play with that thing we see. If you come out now,
they're not going to pay you again.
They're not going to pay you. I go to say, I'm not putting 6 months. If I come out now, so they will pay 3 months. Even if I don't get 6 months, you can get that 3 months. It don't happen to me. For Lagos, I come out for year. For where? No, I come out for year. I come out for year. I come out for year. See, that's I said when I just won't come if I don't. I've been eating over by the way, but that one another story for people they ask whether I be about the sound about whatever it is. So, but fortunately, when I won't come, delayed it. I won't go back there. They say space. So I just take my L. I think I like that. I just go out there a couple of months later. I just said they pay a few months. They've done buy gadget for everybody. And they look see. Also, what's happening? I made you that I don't get the mind. To go meet the senior man, see how far. What's happening? And that one said they don't get the structure of say if you go office now, there is something where they right. I don't forget what they call that for organizational structure. I know that girl. Yeah. I know you get one particular thing that they call up, but like say you represent organizational structure, like from the end down, this thing. I know I don't forget. But that one I know today there. If you can go the MD office, I say this one, that one. But I don't fit talk. People say that I believe that they do me favor. But the thing be say that they owe me even till tomorrow. But some people when you say they stay. After me, I come out. But no say they know there too. When they waiting, they owe me part. I don't forget now. But I just recollect. See, now the same thing happened to me that year when I was a lot younger. You see, the was to so many people when they work for radio for Ibadan and other places.
What's it gonna be your own advice for?
Before you go advice, I beg, make I quickly chip in something. You see, in this media industry, the only currency that we spend is confidence. And the only language they understand is confidence. Media organization is very, very peculiar. Nobody calls you to say you spend 2 years here, let's increase your salary. It is your level of
yesterday with no experience.
Yes.
Or lesser experience, go collect money pass
you.
Yeah, what is the power of negotiation?
Sometimes.
Bullshit.
Sometimes you see co-hosts according the same show. One person is earning 30. One person is earning 30, another person is earning 100. That's such disparity on the same show. So what am I saying? Confidence is all that matters. When I say confidence, like he said the other time, there are some people that will walk up to these people, look them in the eye and tell the guy, is it that you do this or I'm leaving? See, that I'm leaving is a clause that you cannot throw if you are not sure of where you are standing yet. Because if you say you are leaving, I think you have to get to a particular... Exactly. That is the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. You have to get to a level where you can look at them in the eye and tell the guy, you do this or I leave. And when you know that they don't want to, they will not want to, they will dance to your tune. Let me use a personal example with all sense of modesty, without sounding pompous or sounding boasting. I used to work for a radio station. It was during economic meltdown get one Igbo that they call at that time. Recession. During the recession, they just made a circular that everybody's salary is slashed by 30%.
With no recourse to any law.
With no recourse to any law. They say because of recession and it has affected adverts, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's salary is reduced by 30%.
A microphone.
Thank God, me. I'm a lawyer. I just sent a message that, sir, I remember that in my letter, I was regarded as a contractor. And as a matter of fact, every month before I get paid, I have to submit invoice as a contractor. It is against the law rules of contract. You cannot vary the terms of contract unilaterally after we have both signed. It has to be a mutual agreement that we want to do this. So you cannot tell me that this is what you want to do after I have signed. So by the time I sent my mail to them, the GM called me and said, guy, you know what? We're not going to touch your own salary, but no louder. So for every other person, they slashed their salary, but they did not touch mine. Because I let them realize that, I know this, and leave this. And they slashed every other person's salary. They did not touch mine. And I didn't mean to. I was not ready to be Adams or Shomole. No, we say I won't lead a protest. I don't talk. They don't touch my salary. Nothing concern me. So
I won't blame you yourself. You don't get what you want.
I don't get what I want. I don't
know the other person fight for it.
Meanwhile, later I got to know that there's another guy who is not a lawyer. But he's from South. He gets small squishy for it like this. Say that one waka straight, go meet your girlfriend. I say, madam, waiting be this one. They say, guy, calm down, no raise your voice. They know the combating salary. They know combating salary too. So that is to tell you that sometimes these things that Yoruba we call it afilo. They go take out, they go show you, they go flash you. If you go calm, you don't know, you don't go. So if you have, there's a level of confidence you get. There's a particular person in this city that at a particular time was reputed to be earning almost ₦1 million per month as salary here in Ibadan. And what was his style? Anytime he goes on leave, when it was time for him to resume, he will not come back. And that you know go resume, say, I'm not sure I'm coming back. Kilo tell you they fight us, what they do you, I'm not sure I'm coming back. Waiting, I want increment. And then because he is so sure. But if you are not sure, if you say you don't go, say you don't go, send our ID card. Send our ID card and then other company will tell you wait your hand, make you depart there, they go your house. So you two go feed dwarf. I remember the time I left a particular station, I told them I got another offer from another station. And this is how much they are offering me. And they said, we cannot match what they are offering you. We'll give you 30% increment. I said, no. And that no is my no, I'm leaving. And he said, okay, you know what? We'll get back to you, blah, 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 blah. And they were not getting back to me. And then I picked the other offer. So when they heard that I picked another offer, they called me and said, guy, we say you don't pick this offer, blah, 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 blah. But you said we'll get back to you now. You know what? We are ready to match the offer. I said it's too late because I already signed for this other place. And I informed you earlier. I gave you that grace and that respect.
You know what they call it? They said first refusal.
They said they thought I was bluffing. They thought I was bluffing. So, like I said, in media, they don't call you to increase your salary. It depends. Everything is about your confidence. You may not have another offer. Most times, most of us, we don't get that confidence until we get another offer. When you get another offer, that will boost your confidence. Let's see. If you don't know where.
But you don't say but you don't say no where with your front. Say, I want an increase.
Exactly.
But if you don't say this person they work, in the working house,
that is how it
should do this thing. Why you as the employer or representative of the employer don't talk to the senior man, say this person they try. No, even put SWAT.
Exactly.
That's that person go there when a slave in quotes. Another person go come. Exactly. And waiting more than waiting they don't feel paid and on the slaves. When they will do as much as that person they do. So you
it's a very, very unfair.
That person will get rid of waiting they pay that person. In the look himself. See how much they do, see how much this person they do. This person they call almost double my salary. So I can't get one person who say they go add 10K to my salary. You know, when no necessarily even reach waiting on that person where they make me vex. Instead I don't go take him. Go take him. Without a recourse to considering waiting for happen in the next 3 years for that place where they go. Because they are taking first. Not 10K first.
If you ask many people,
you go take on my excesses.
The only time they've gotten salary increase is when they get another offer. And that's why people seem not loyal. For example, if Demoosha employ me now, for the past 3 years, you feel employ me.
I know if it
no, you go put scanning pay.
Okay, can they pay Demoosha employ me now? And they pay me 100K for 3 years. You can't come. Because say Afouda, come work with me. Oh. Okay, make I dey give you 200. I can't go meet Demoosha and say, Baba, I can't offer up 200. You can't say, guy, you know say exactly. You say, guy, 200. They won't pay you 200. They go now.
They go pay you 200.
Go. If they hope they pay you 200, they go. But I can't tell you say, guy, come. Me and you don't take where we start. You know say those people where they carry come. You don't know where they get their own money. I know even know maybe they go fix cost 10. They pay the money. See, me I know if you pay 200. Make I pay you 150. Make I pay you 150. But you know say you dey steady, your work gallant there, your future there and sure there. No, that place if you go there and make them run down tomorrow, they never know where then they go. You know that kind of sweet talking. Because say okay, I go away with you. God told us see, I know if you come for that 200. I know if you come because people where they work with now, they don't ready to do numbers. That now how many people get salary increase, which what we are trying to say now is that it shouldn't be the practice. It shouldn't be the practice. It should be from after. Look at people where they work now. You know people where they work now. This guy don't try. If I come in to say my brother, somebody want add 100K to my salary, I go they rate you based on how much you can do with that 100K. So if you tell me say I want to do 10, 20K, 30K, I would not say it no make sense. Now 100K. But if I call you say Narz, you they try. I see what you they do. You don't take away you they collect this 100K. I put 20K join up. 120
without me even.
If next tomorrow, exactly what you say, you never get any offer. If after a month or two, somebody come tell you say they won't give you 200. Even before you go meet that your guy, we just add 20K to your salary. Your conscience will tell you say, this guy they try. No be just increase my salary. So if it
even know say no which you actually work.
Exactly.
So they try. Don't give me 10.
Honest your guy he don't squeeze himself. We say that from the mind they come. Don't say that may ask. The guy don't try. So even if you go mention out to in here, you don't go talking like the man. Say guy some people come you. They will say won't pay me 200. But you know. Now only you go there, but the moment like you go face and say, guy, they won't pay me 200. What you will do? They go push it.
They go bad man that place where they go.
They go.
My people, just they go. But here we are, putting a full stop on this premiere episode of Disclosure with Stride. And you know what? Don't you forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Stride Africa TV. And I still go by myself, Narz, aka the King of Airwaves. Another episode go dey tantalizing. Demoosha, babag. This one are the radio presenter commitment and loyalty to your organization. Next one, wetin go be? You dey wonder, sit still, make nothing do you. We dey come, we never waka go anywhere at all. We love you from Stride Africa. We say,